Level 70, Gosetsu and Tsuyu. Alphanaud has important news to share. Ah, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Heian. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlean's part, the Populars have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yangsha. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Heian requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he just walked away, but I'm sure he's scheming something. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave, then. Lord Heian will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Alright, I guess we'll just teleport to the Doman Enclave. Okay, which way are we going? Oh, it's right there? Okay, we'll just run. No need for a mount to go this far. Lord Heian is expecting you. May I show you in? Yes. Yes, let me in now. I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Good gods, is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it high time he receives some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuyo has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Zilly Alizé, shall we? Yeah, let's go see Boss.
Open wide now.
Please, Tsuyu. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
Who wouldn't?
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon?
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
Yeah, so is she gonna start remembering? That's what it looked like in the trailer. She was so delightful.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Hey now.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink. What are all these scars? There are so many.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman! I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
You got a little sponge bath at least. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events, I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him? You couldn't make it up, although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. No matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond his limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains, he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu was feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yugiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince, so what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami, a child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me and everyone else, I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she as good as fastened the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tsuyu first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. It is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Garleans are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Okay, I guess we go to the docks then. It says speak with Alphanol. He's not in here. Okay, guess we just go back to the docks. Yeah. Shall we wait here then? Lord Heian should not be long. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She is nowhere to be found. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it is possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. Is nobody keeping an eye on her? Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? Fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think, yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new fallen snow it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No, I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Now we gotta go search for her. It would seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Hey, what did we hit? 72? I don't have my Eureka weapon for my ninja yet, so we're gonna keep playing as a samurai. Level 70, gone like the morning dew. Though his face betrays little sign of panic, he is plainly desperate to find Yotsuyu before something terrible happens. Seems Tsuyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. We must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance, for all of this, lies with me, but I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Heian. Now as before, let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I will take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alpha Node, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminous. Really, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. I know a few of those Namazu. Would this be where you would normally get the Beast Tribe? I don't know when they add the Beast Tribes. I think it's during a patch, right? Where is that? Like right up here, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Too many side quests in the way, I couldn't see the thing. Yo-san. Welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Yes. If there is anything you care to know, you need only... a pale-skinned woman? I have seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have an abundance. Be like in here. I guess we just have to run around. Unusually pale skin? Yes, I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallows east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction, for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. Okay. To the northeast. Okay, the glittering basin. Come back to me, Tsuyu. Maybe she got on a boat to fish. You see no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere further off to the northeast. Oh, Shadowbringers? We're still a few weeks away from Shadowbringers. We have a couple more patches to do, I think. And then I still need to get a bunch of weapons from Eureka. And, I don't know, I guess we'll find out when we see the trailer what jobs are featured. I assume it would be Gunbreaker and Dancer, right? Still no sign of Tsuyu. Perhaps she is yet farther to the northeast. I like to play the jobs that make sense in the storyline, but it's not necessary. We just play what we want most of the time. It seemed fitting to do it this way. Tsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking, wide-brimmed hat. A hat? That's not her. Cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Tsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. Zilly, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly naught, save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alizé has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Heian here shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? Found this hat. Towards Namai, by the kami, if the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the patties. The village square is yours. Oh yeah, because like, she doesn't know she was an awful person. Hey.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Now, if you want to go get Gosetsu a persimmon, that's sweet.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
The ghost!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
Your cue, Heian. You gotta step in now.
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsuyu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it would kind of suck if it's legit. Like, I don't remember it being like an awful human being.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace.
He's always getting into trouble.
As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
You gonna remember her brother now? I don't think he showed her the same kindness. Gone like the morning dew. Complete. All 370. 340. Level 70. Fruits of her labor. Ian's face is a picture of relief. That would have been better avoided. But at least it did not end in bloodshed, and judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds a taste to his liking. Now, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminus and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphinaud and Alizé should still be there, conducting their search. Yeah, Fluminus is, yeah, where we dressed up during the MSQ, right? Peace. I don't know anything about Shadowbringers. We'll talk about that when we get there. Seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet with the ambassador. Is he going to give up his quest for vengeance when he finds out Xenos is still alive? Or are we going to kill him first?
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Tsuyu here today.
Yeah, we know he's planning
Indeed.
something, right?
Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see.
You're gonna want her anyway.
But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
The parents. They're not really her parents, are they?
Ah, Tsuyu. You look, well.
Yeah, I think they said in like her flashback that it was like she grew up with like her aunt. So like he's really her cousin, not her brother, but
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
of course he's an ass. He works for the Empire. That's the mirror thing he gave her, right?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
Something shady's gonna happen. Nothing ever goes according to plan, right? I mean, we saw Xenos in the trailer, so I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphinaud. What is it? No, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. Something to do with the mirror, huh? Isn't that what said, Susanoo free? It was like when we, well, I mean, I think it was all three treasures, right? Didn't we have the mirror? We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Tsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Tsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
Yeah.
I like this Asahi less and less.
You and me both.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Tsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder.
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
Blow up the prisoners. I'll die hard.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Tsuyu, she's gone!
Gone again?
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell.
Nobody keep an eye on this lady?
She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Maybe we spend half the patch looking for her. Tsuyu. Like, find the lost child patch. You have to keep somebody prisoner to just like keep a guard near her room.
Help! Help!
Like she's not climbing out the window. You get her memory back. Echo.
Help! Help me!
Kidnapper.
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
What are they doing out there?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, you're Tsuyu. A font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament.
They're still his parents, right?
You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it.
Oh, I'm glad she's back.
To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Tsuyu! What?
Oh, he kind of had that coming. So.
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
So is it crystals in the crates then? Is she gonna transform into a
Please.
thing?
I don't
A primal?
want to die.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Maybe a wheelbarrow for those two. We have recovered the Norris remains and will hold a cremation anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. Level 70. Fruits for labor complete. Level 70, conscripts and contingencies. Lord Heian seems keen to take stock of the situation. So my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Tsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Tsuyu into the Garlean's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. Wise precaution. If the main structure of the Castrum Fluminus is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Seems like more of a Thancred job than an Alphinaud job, but okay. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the Castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. Confederate Secaboon, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water. Assuming, of course, Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before. And I won't be alone, will I? You can count on me. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise our role. I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Ugiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord, pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphinaud and I shall be about our task. And we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short, and Rasho may take some convincing. Ruby Sea. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about Heaven on High. We'll have to try that at some point. Now there is a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge-rats such as we? If you've come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. And what fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Yeah, I need a ship. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all of this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? That was funny. Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithe, you sail in peace. Deny us our due and we'll take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mistress Alizé. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there is more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Ian. The losses we suffered at the Garlean's hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well, the Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she is yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you will do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if the Doman Lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this Doman Lord. If we each inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a trice. That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ihanashi. And I thought I had a knack for parlaying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success. And yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. We gotta go swim around a boat. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. This is the north. I thought I'd have to go talk to the guy first. Am I in flight? I realized I was in flight. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. Hi, I'm the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. On the port side, near the bow, you say? All right, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in that gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. You're Lord Ian. The captain sent you to inspect the hull? Kami have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Ah, 'tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma? Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. If someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now, maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares Our Lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it, I see him I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot, but he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there is a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. That's nice. Well said, the Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yangsha or out on the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Ihanashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. No, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. Back to the Enclave. There's 3, 4 quests we've done. I think we said there was 7. Can't actually fly here. Let's run. Oh, we're supposed to go inside then. Lost. Lord Heian is expecting you. Blah blah blah. Let's go in. Seems Yugiri and Alphinaud have completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray to the Kami these precautions were unnecessary. Conscripts and contingencies. Anybody ever use these? I mean, they don't last very long. That might be helpful. Put some extra hit points on for a few seconds. Ian is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange. Primary agreement. While we are putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. He will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank not far from the castrum. By the castrum, maybe we should just go to Namai. Luminous. See the boat. Your party is assembled then? Aye, and ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion that the tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange, that and whatever else Asahi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. What about all the prisoners we have? Your ship awaits you at the castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home. And I'll stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it. I mean, it's an exchange.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, are they all gonna be dead?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Oh, she's back.
Tsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
Yeah, I figured it would be crystals. She's gonna Shiva herself. Well, I guess it's...
What has she done?
They haven't really gotten into the specifics of how it all works, but like, Xenos merged with Shinryu, right?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
The moon.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
Dorman citizen.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
Get away before you get tempered.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run?
Strategic withdrawal.
Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsuyu, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Moon goddess. I guess we have a trial. Cash from Fluminous now accessible. Selection. Cash from Fluminous. Kojin Relic. A hidden trove of crystals. Through these tools of ritual summoning, the restored Tsuyu is reborn as Tsukiyomi, divinity of night and lady of the moon. This being a celestial majesty would rule from on high and drown the lands of Doma in eternal darkness. Will your light shield Heian and his people, or will it flicker and fall and fail before the encroaching abyss? Cash from Fluminous. No, it's the like the bunny on the moon thing, right?
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
That's a different looking tank buster than usual. Oh, because it's a cleave. It looks like a cleave. It was like a tank buster and a Kona.
Your end is near.
Okay, that's like Shiva's. I just saw everybody run. reprimand. Okay, I guess we're supposed to be killing these. Just gonna follow in the monk at this point.
Your death will be all the sweeter.
That's a raid wide. Okay, I got hit with something. Oh, we all got hit with it. Okay, that's fine. Got her in the middle. I don't know, I see ads. We kill them. Kill ads. That's we're not supposed to. Okay. Oh, are they all just like people in her life? Oh, is that Xenos? Oh, that's from the trailer. Okay, so it wasn't actually Kasetsu. It was like a vision. Like they like to fake you out, don't they? Like when I thought Raubon got an arm back.
Suffused with night, I shall prevail!
Oh, that looks like an AoE.
Beg them!
Deal with the colors. I'm not supposed to be standing on one. I don't see anybody like they're not. We're not stacking to just one side.
Shine petals veiled.
They keep turning her too. Oh, we're supposed to go back and forth. Okay, I guess I'm just sort of incidentally doing that. Maybe thanks to the tank for spinning her and making me do it. Is that what I'm supposed to? I mean, I don't know. Like Angramainu from Palace.
Beg them!
Yeah, I know what an AoE looks like.
No. Not yet. Not yet. I'll grind you under my heel!
That's a stack. That was like an optimal one or whatever.
grind you under my heel!
Okay, well that was fun. Come back to us, Tsuyu. What is it? Why is it still out here? I don't notice some of these things sometimes. Oh, I got commendations. Good, not bad for a first time. Damn. He's a machinist now, too. Really love your family, kid.
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer.
What a guy.
Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This Dorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Get a bed, kid.
This harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you. What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
Kosetsu will mourn you. Tsuyu deserved a kinder fate.
Her happiness was never to be. Not in this world. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Lord Xenos.
Echo.
Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asahi, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Your Tsuyu's faith is unreliable. But as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the Icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
Indeed.
The Icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent.
Oh, Lord.
I will not fail you, my lord.
Oh, he succeeded. He didn't survive, but he succeeded.
My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
Bring it on.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
It's all a ruse anyways.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Saw a vision of his past. Xenos was behind this plot.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
Bones.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
You kidding?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings.
Indeed.
Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk her life on countless occasions. Next to her, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield.
True that.
But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
This is your moment. I believe in you, Alphinaud.
'Tis not for me to stop you. But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Was it the Ascian that was talking to the Emperor, maybe taking up Xenos' body? I mean, because I don't know, can they take up dead bodies? They can certainly take over live ones. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. Together he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekabun before the battle began in earnest. But the vessel yet waits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Moving.
Ah, there you are.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Leave us, Gosetsu. He's the best.
This is no forlorn and final farewell. Send me on my way with a smile, my friend.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
You just wander the earth. Oh, he was great. Gosetsu, fair journey to you, my friend. Bittersweet occasion, but yet there is ample, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Gingan. I would thank you properly. Odian is expecting you. Enter. Yes. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that we will live long in memory, one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest, yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphador to send word. Till then I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu by building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. Suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the kami had been so minded. Even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate, to deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us, and that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. Primary agreement complete. We're going back to the Waking Sands now. Under the moonlight, Alizé seems ready to bid farewell to Doma. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. Before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Rauger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that. The Reach. Okay. That won't be. Alright. We'll switch back for the next one. Should have one by then. Or we might be ready to move on to a new job completely. Dilly Alizé, you're back, No Alphinaud? It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that's... If this is a joke, gods, this has better be a joke. We're gonna go dig him up. Go dig up his body. Yeah, like he died like right there in front of us. Look, I know what I saw, right? We all saw it. And here you are saying he's alive and well and living the high life back in Garlemald? I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself, but while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Zoe. She saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could have only taken place in the recent past. It was him. It was Xenos. No, it must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? That's Thal's Gilded Halls. Whatever are you talking about? Thancred. Thancred, what brings you to the Reach? Alphanode had me lending a hand at the Saltery, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, so just until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggestion the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? Yeah, let's go check out the grave. As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave, but if it will put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. When there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhow in the Locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked so as not to upset the locals. Then it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. Let's go, grave Robin. Again, isn't that how we did with Scala? Like the King's Treasure Tomb or whatever. That's like way over there. I guess we'll just come here. Yeah, I'm gonna bet Asian's controlling his body. And it's the one that was talking to the Emperor or whatever. This is it, gods, he'd better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied? Well then, we are presented with but one course of action. We had best be sure we are not observed in the doing of it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Yeah, saw that coming.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
I think it's exactly what's going on with it. It's walking around. It's kind of the problem. You know, that whole not being seen thing kind of went unplanned too. Everything going tits up. There's no corpse then. Are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphinaud's theory of an Ascian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Ascian is walking around in Xenos' body? Seems a distinct possibility. Once I have put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Raubon needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Rauger's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we were due another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones, then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. That was quick. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Urianger over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Ishtola is on her way and should be here any, Alizé, Zilly, 'tis good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Zilly? Nay. Alphinaud had the right of it. Would that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold, and the shadowy web of the Paragons like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Under the moonlight, complete. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Meanwhile, in the halls of justice. We cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the right beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Ah. I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. Is that Xenos' soul? There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final blow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins, embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Yeah, it is, he knows. Him and the Assy and Freaky Friday. Emissary of the Dawn. With thoughts of Alphinaud's plight weighing heavy on her mind, Alizé might welcome some company. Been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphinaud. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with the tale of your adventures in the Far East, and of your encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the kettle on then. That table looks free if you'd like to take a seat. Claim the nearby table. Upon sitting at the table, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these cutscenes in their entirety. Sit at the table. Yes. Interesting. So the Tsukuyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Susanoo, via the medium of a sacred relic. That's right, they believe their gods or kami reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalog of such relics. If we are to contain the threat, we will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. Fine idea, and I know for a fact that our friends in Doma would be grateful for any information which could help to prevent further summoning in the region. I will pin you a letter of introduction. Lord Hien will wish to welcome our resident expert on etherology. Greetings, could it be that I'm in time for tea? Certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigations went. After you left, I went about questioning Bloodhouse gravekeepers. They all told much the same story. Once Lys and her officers had confirmed Xenos dead, his corpse was interred under strict supervision. There seems little reason to doubt their testimony on that point, but when I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' grave, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious persons in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamegan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scrawl was removed as per Lys's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like that the corpse was already missing. Assuming Xenos has not, in fact, risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed impostor, or an Ascian has taken up residence within it. If Asahi was as fervent a devotee as you believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation, however committed. We must assume that we are dealing with an Ascian and proceed accordingly. Agreed. The question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphinaud and Golemald? Their presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risk. I only hope he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Meanwhile, on the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft LXXV, Master Alphinaud, we are making good speed towards our destination. Is all to miss? Nay, 'tis just. I can see naught from my cabin and was curious to know where the land over which we flew. I am afraid our military craft are built with little thought for such niceties. I am happy to indulge your curiosity, however. We are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Othard. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but malms upon malms of lifeless earth. I have read something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, bled dry of every last drop of ether. It is believed that a succession of icon summonings was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Othard and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled at the scale of the devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Report. We're under attack, sir. Magitech armor, no visible designation. Magitech, but who? Aren't we in an assault vehicle? All cannons return fire. Damage report. The main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We're going down, sir. Damn it, they knew exactly where to hit us. All hands, brace for impact. Red alert. Glad to have you back, Master Alphinaud. We have landed in one piece, more or less. The air filtration system is damaged and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out while we still can. Aye, aye. Duty calls. Commence battle for Emissary of the Dawn. If you are above the maximum allowed level, it will be synced as follows. Level 70. I wasn't expecting any kind of duty. I mean, I was having tea a second ago. I'm playing as Alphinaud? Pet hotbar. Try shackle. That's all I get. Physic, try shackle, and ruin. I want to accidentally hit something. You know, I won't have a limit break soon. Moonstone Carbuncle. I had known that, I was taking a break first. The burn. Hey, what are we supposed to be doing? I might ask you to search for survivors. I'm supposed to just run around. Destroy the airship wreckage. I can't target anything. Oh, there it is. I want to play as Alphinaud. It's fine. I like the Moon Carbuncle. What do they have, like an obsidian one too? Somebody said. Thanks. I don't think I would have made it. Yes, you very likely saved his life. The question of who would try to take it remains. These last few out of the misery, the prince wishes none left alive. The prince? Not come to parley, I fear. Ready your weapons. Out of MP? Okay. He'll be like completely out pretty soon. They're gonna have a civil war in Garlemald. Confound it, not here, not like this. What? Who in the Emperor's name? Enemies of our enemies. Introductions can wait. You are calm in a crisis, Master Alphanald. Let us finish this, then. Gunbreaker. By the Emperor, that man is a fiend. Cross formation, deploy your strings. LB. Help. I don't know if I'm supposed to save it for something or not, but it seemed more useful right there. Yeah, okay. That gun sword looks familiar. This would be before they even announced Gunbreaker, huh? Is that Gaius? Or is Gaius dead? My thanks, your intervention proved most timely. Well, well, I did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a Scion. You know of me, sir? I have some small history with your order. Is it Gaius, really? Hey, don't tell me, we'll see. I was just throwing that out there because the gun looks similar. You do enough Praetorium. But I would speak of the present. Know you your assailants and the severity of your predicament. The soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I could venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage. Sir, will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be your answer. An Asian mask. The face of our prey. No, it's different. We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay, but make your choice now. That it is Gaius, isn't it? Gotta be. Go, Sid, or stay. Makes no matter. Even should we manage a long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer, huh? Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Come. Did I make her Livia? I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. He's Imperial, certainly. The way he speaks. Could be another warrior of darkness. Is she having a twin vision? This is intolerable, but as much as I wish it were otherwise, there is nothing we can do for Alphinaud now but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys to Garlemald from the east, I could make my way there from Alamigo and find out what there is to be learned in the Empire's western provinces. I'm coming with you. I can't very well sit here sipping tea if there is action to be taken. Forgive me, Alizé, but the provinces are hostile territory and stealth is all important. It is safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. Didn't she get caught like immediately last time she tried to sneak around? We should leave this to Thancred. I'll go with him. Should I go with him? I'll go with him. And how exactly would that be any better? I must refuse your company as well, my friend. Formidable though you are, the success of my mission depends on moving unnoticed. Lest you forget, you have grown rather famous. I trust you understand. Fine, just promise you'll be careful. Seems that praying is to be the extent of my contribution after all, but I will stay behind as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happens to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. I promise to send word the moment I learn aught of consequence. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldenard vessel to bear me thither, but I shall return if I am needed. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Zilly. With any luck, I'll have a painfully detailed report from Alphinaud to share. Emissary of the Dawn, complete. That's it for, you've learned the emote pawn.